This video is about adding and subtracting polynomials. First, we're going to do adding polynomials. The good news is you really already know all of the things you need to know in order to be able to do this. I'm just going to show you a couple of ways to do it. Okay, one way that some students like is to do a vertical method. So they would take the first part and then the second part and line them up vertically and then just add vertically. So 6x plus negative 3x is 3x and 5 plus 7 is 12. Okay, so that would be a vertical method of doing this. Another way that people do it is just finding like terms. So 6x plus negative 3x and then 5 positive 5 plus 7 and then combining those. So 6x plus negative 3x is 3x and 5 plus 7 is 12. Either way, you get the same answer. Okay, so let's try it for the next one. 3x squared plus x squared, and then positive x plus 4x and negative 6 plus 10 would be how you could do it horizontally. And that makes 4x squared plus 5x plus 4. If I wanted to do it the vertical method, I would write 3x squared plus x minus 6. And then underneath, I'd write x squared plus 4x plus 10. And just add them together vertically. 3x squared plus x squared is 4x squared. X plus 4x, remember if there's no coefficient, it means it's a 1. So this will be 5x. Negative 6 plus 10 is positive 4. So either way, we get the same answer. Okay, the last one is just a little bit tricky. Here's why. If I would write this as 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus x, when I go to write the next one, I need to make sure I'm lining up my like terms. So 2x squared has to line up under my other x squared term. And plus x cubed, that's my first term, so it lines up with the 2x cubed. And then minus 1, I don't have any terms that don't have a variable in the first one, so it just gets written separate. 2x cubed plus x cubed, remember that's 1x cubed, so 3x cubed. Negative 5x squared plus 2x squared is negative 3x squared. X doesn't have anything to add to it, so it's just plus x. And the 1 isn't subtracted from anything. I don't have any other constant terms, so it's just minus 1. I can do the same thing if I want to do this the horizontal method. So I would take 2x cubed and add it to x cubed. Negative 5x squared is added to 2x squared. And then plus x but there's no other term like that, and so then minus 1. And when I add them together, I still get that 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. This video is going to be about subtracting polynomials, and there's also going to be a word problem. Okay, so to do subtracting polynomials, the very easiest way is to change it to an addition problem. So remember when you learned that you can change any subtraction problem to adding the opposite or adding a negative? So I just changed my subtraction to addition, but then I switched the sign of everything that came after that. Okay? Effectively, what you're doing is you're multiplying everything by a negative 1. So my problem becomes 2x minus 8, and then plus negative 4x plus 2. When I add those together, I get negative 2x. Negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. That's my final answer. If you're a fan of the horizontal method, you could do 2x plus negative 4x, and then negative 8 plus 2. And when you simplify that, you still get negative 2x minus 6. Okay. Another example. Again, we change our subtraction into addition, but then we switch the sign of everything that comes after that in the parentheses. I'll do the addition or the horizontal method first this time. So I take 4x squared minus 3x squared, and then negative 3x plus x, and positive 5 plus 8, which gives me x squared, or 1x squared, because 4x squared minus 3x squared is x squared. Negative 3x plus 1x is negative 2x, and 5 plus 8 is 13. And you could try solving that one with the vertical method if that's what you prefer. And then I'll demonstrate the last one just using the vertical method. Okay, so again, change our subtraction to an addition, but then switch the sign of every part that comes after it. So we're adding the opposite. Then we'll write 4n squared. Now I notice that my next term is a 5, so I'm going to leave a space and write plus 5 because there's no n term there. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you could say I have 0 n's. My other one is 2n squared minus 2n, right, because we changed that sign, plus 4. So when we add that together, we get 6n squared minus 2n plus 9. And again, you could do that horizontally also. Right, on to a word problem. says that the amount of merchandise in millions that store A sold could be represented by this polynomial. And the amount of merchandise in millions that store B sold can be represented by this polynomial. And then it says find the total amount of merchandise that stores A and B sold. Okay, so then I get to use my common sense from years and years of doing math. Is this going to be an addition problem or a subtraction problem? Because it says total amount. I know it's going to be an addition problem. So then I just add my two polynomials, 13x squared plus 8x minus 3, and add that to 8x squared minus 3x plus 11. You can choose your very favorite method to do that with. I kind of like to do the horizontal method, I think. So 3x squared plus 8x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 3 plus 11. So I get 13x squared plus 8x squared is 21x squared. 8x minus 3x is positive 5x. Negative 3 plus 11 is positive 8. So the polynomial that represents the total amount of merchandise that stores A and B sold is this.